That summer, in June of 1988, I wrote June the 5th, my birthday. I would not quibble the point that I'm a deluded fool and full of hubris to think that this gorgeous holy day that wraps the chair I sit in with comfortable peace is a personal gift. Yet I point out that I'd be a bigger fool if I didn't savor the feeling whenever it comes. If I don't accept this day as a sweet gift for my pleasure, nobody will. Nobody can be blessed or thankful for me. One good feeling leads to another, so I want to tell you about my birthday 2 years ago, June the 5th, 1986. It fell on Monday, start of the work week, and Tina and the kids gave me a little party with treats and cards that they had crafted to send me off into the world. There's love between us, and I was joyful as I wheeled my bike out in the still cool morning. A crow, the bird that I have long considered, for no reason, my omen bird, cawed from the crown of the neighbor's tree that overhangs my yard as I went out the alley gate and turned to take the longer way to work. I took it personally. I pedaled easily, whistling hands-free, cruising to the first main thoroughfare where I had to stop for safety. The intersection view west was blocked by building and parked cars, so I stopped with my foot on the curb and leaned out to check oncoming traffic. There are balloons from a wedding or some such the night before, nearly deflated, bobbling in the road. A huge semi is barreling straight for them, and I wait to see them explode. But instead, they're gathered into the turbulence before the speeding truck, bobble above and over. There's 5 or 6 balloons in as many colors strung together, with one burst balloon dangling below, and they're all swirling and tumbling in the eddies behind the big rig. They're doing a jiggling dance that I know is for me, and without moving from my bike, the dangler comes to my hand. I parade with the balloons, then lose them to the breeze when I have to brake a little bit further on. I don't even look back, but I say aloud, "Thanks, thanks." I had not meant to write again, and until at least somebody discussed the last letter with me, but there has been no reply, not even from people I see often. What does a poor boy have to do to correspond? Oh well, no response, no matter. This time I'm writing from exuberance, and I don't care if the response is evoked. Thinking of correspondence, I recall years ago telling a coworker, whose religious sense I had offended, that there was no reason to be offended because I'm just some guy from Fresno with no authority at all. The idea of using Fresno as a defense struck me as funny yet true, so I bring it up now to say, read on with a light heart, it's only notes out of Fresno. In the summer of 1973, I was traveling to West Virginia looking for my fate, and I was traveling light. I'd caught a ride in California that promised to take me all the way to Pennsylvania and feed me a home-cooked meal there. But the right front wheel came off the car he was delivering and rolled down the street in front of us somewhere in Ohio. I understood the promise could not be kept, and I put my thumb out. I didn't have a map and had never been in Ohio before except for speeding along the interstate, but I didn't think there was a problem until I didn't recognize any town I passed. And when I would ask the rides who picked me up how far to the capital of West Virginia, a blank look was the only response I would get. I was moving steadily, not spending much time on the side of the road, but it was frustrating because I didn't know if I was moving in any more than a very general direction towards Charleston on the River Kanawha. Late in the afternoon, when I got down from a ride in about the 10th small town whose name I've forgotten, I didn't put my thumb out, but walked to the Greyhound bus station and bought a ticket for the 2 buses that would take me to the land of dreams. There was about an hour until departure, so I sat, relaxed and happy, waiting for the bus and the fate that might appear anytime, anywhere. I was tripping on the dark wood of the bus station, polished by years of use, the gum-stained floor and the wire ticket seller's cage, imagining it to be the setting of a Mickey Rooney Girl Next Door movie from the 1940s, when an attractive young woman came in, sat next to me, and began to talk. What trick of fate might this be? A good-looking woman trying to pick me up was a frequent fantasy, but a very rare reality. Very rare. Caution, but her dark skin and eyes, fruiting body, and hair with the slightest coarsening made her very attractive. So when she said friends were coming to pick her up for a party, and she wanted me to come with her, there would be a place for me to sleep, and I would have a good time, I cashed in my ticket. Her friends arrived, 5 people about 20 years old, And after her backslapping, handshaking, hugging reunion, we piled into the back seat of a sedan, and she introduced me, inaccurately but tellingly. "This is Eric. He heard me talking about camp meeting and asked to come along." Her friends gushed, "Oh, Marilyn, you have such a gift. Someone always comes to Jesus through you." Crowded in the back seat of a speeding car, I couldn't leave, so I made a few perfunctory remarks and then rode along silently. They carried on breathless gossip of shared experiences and friends and happenings since last they had met, happily ignoring me. And I was thinking, coy bitch, not sure if I was referring to Marilyn or fate. She had not actually laid hands on my pants or said she wanted to caress my body, but she had clearly implied musty, stinky sex. She was just keeping up her act, and a polished act it was, for her friends said, "Oh, Marilyn, you always bring someone." I was offended by her bringing souls to Jesus with sex, but turned the other cheek, and when we reached the camp meeting about 7 p.m., I simply went looking for the bed she had promised. There was a shower set up, so I cleaned up and laid down with full dark. I sensed some resentment by many of the young men who passed my bed on their way to the preaching from the loud and pointed remarks I heard like, "It's a shame to let somebody like that sleep here. He's not even going to meeting. He should be told to leave." But nobody did tell me to leave, and I soon slept. I rose with the dawn light, ready to leave, and I slipped out between sleeping bodies, between tents, and under a rope fence to the road. I put my thumb out and began to mentally shake the dust of the place from my heels. Hypocrites, call themselves Christians, but mean-spirited. And Marilyn, oh, you fruiting body, you better watch out, stuff, honey, 'cause someone will grab it. Adios, goodbye, farewell, Christians, sex for Jesus, I mean really. I was pulling that train of thought when an old rattle trap of various colored body parts pulled up. I had only been on the road a few minutes, so I took it as shabbiness for a good sign, and I thought I was destined to travel far. The woman in the passenger seat leaned forward so I could climb in back with the children, maybe 10 and 13. Once seated and the car moving, she said, "We're going to that town up there," pointing to a place about a half a mile away. It seemed my fate was to be jacked around in Ohio when she continued, "But we want to buy you breakfast." I tried to excuse myself. "Well, thanks, but I plan to eat later." It was true. Early morning hitchhiking is the best. This was a truly lovely day, and all around Ohio is lush green, nothing like the midsummer sere San Joaquin Valley. Besides, I wanted to put some distance between me and the camp meeting, but she said, "No, you must. I want to buy you breakfast. Jesus is love, and we want to share that love. Please, let us feed you. We want to." Feeling very far from California, very much in the Bible Belt, and very stuck in the back seat, I didn't answer right away. She looked as old and used as the car, but her voice was glad, and so was her smile. The driver, hard used too, leaned back to me and said, "It's true. Thy shares the gift of love she got, and I do not, and I do what she wants, and so we want to feed you breakfast." The children on either side didn't say a word, but there was no sense of shame or fear or loathing. Thinking, why say no to such kindness? "Thank you. I would enjoy very much to eat." There was a coffee shop right at the edge of town. They had already eaten, but sat with me as I ordered and ate. Vi did almost all the talking except for her husband's occasion. "That's right." She effervesced. She had a story, and she had had it printed on a paper flyer. She was blessed. She loved people. Her story, Saved by the Blood, was for everyone. She cared for me and my well-being. She would give me money if I needed. While I ate eggs and potatoes, she penned a little poem to a bundle and gave it to me saying, "Jesus is love and I love you." I still have the poem on a scrap of paper. When breakfast was done, they loaded into the old clunker and returned to the very camp meeting that I was fleeing. Hitching again, full and smiling, a scene from the movie Elmer Gantry danced into my head where Burt Lancaster says to Shirley Jones with a wolf's grin, "God is love, and what is love? Love is the morning and the evening star." Feeling that love, I began singing, standing in the sun by the side of the road. And remembering that time recalls a poem by Wendell Berry that I hope you will enjoy. This is called The Manifesto, the Mad Farmers Liberation Front. Love the quick profit, the annual raise, vacation with pay, want more of everything ready-made. Be afraid to know your neighbors and to die. You will have a window in your head. Not even your future will be a mystery anymore. Your mind will be punched and carded and shut away in a little drawer. When they want you to buy something, they will call you. When they want you to die for profit, they will let you know. So, friends, every day, do something that won't compute. Love the Lord. Love the world. Work for nothing. Take all that you have and be poor. Love someone who does not deserve it. Denounce the government and embrace the flag. Hope to live in that free public for which it stands. Give your approval to all that you cannot understand. Praise ignorance, for what man has not encountered, he has not destroyed. Ask questions that have no answers. Invest in the millennium. Plant sequoias. Say that your main crop is the forest that you did not plant, that you will not harvest. Say that the leaves are harvested when they have rotted into mold. Call that profit. Prophecy such returns. Put your faith in the 2 inches of humus that will build under the trees every 1,000 years. Listen to Carry On. Put your ear close and hear the faint chattering of the songs that are to come. Expect the end of the world. Laughter is immeasurable. Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts. So long as women do not go cheap for power, please women more than men. Ask yourself, will this satisfy a woman satisfied to bear a child? Will this disturb the sleep of a woman near to giving birth? Go with your love to the fields. Lie easy in the shade. Rest your head in her lap. Swear allegiance to what is nearest your thoughts. As soon as the generals and politicals can predict the motions of your mind, lose it. Leave it as a sign to mark the false trail, the way you didn't go. Be like the fox, who makes more tracks than necessary, some in the wrong direction. Practice resurrection. Well, that's it from Liberty Street. With peace and love, Eric.